Welcome back to another episode of Explicably Inexplicables. I'm your host, Arnav, and today we're diving into a hot topic, big tech and data privacy. I'm joined by my co-host, Nikhil.
Hey all, this is definitely an important issue that affects us all. So let's jump right in. Arnav, can you explain to our listeners what exactly is big tech and why it's such a big deal?
Absolutely, Nikhil. Big tech refers to the major technology companies that wield significant influence and control over the digital landscape. We're talking about giants like Google, Apple, Facebook, and Amazon. These companies have become an integral part of our lives, from social interactions to online shopping and beyond.
Right, and I can't even imagine what a day would be like without using their services. I literally, honestly use these on a daily basis. But with that convenience also comes the concern of data privacy.
Yeah.
You know, what are some of the recent controversies surrounding big data, big tech and data privacy?
Well, I think one of the most significant controversies was the Cambridge Analytica scandal involving Facebook. I believe that it came to light that personal data of millions of users was harvested without their consent for political purposes. And I think that raised serious questions about how these companies handle and protect user data.
Yeah, you bring up a good point. I think that was truly just a wake-up call for many individuals. But has anything changed since then? Are these companies taking any, data privacy, measures to take things more seriously now?
I mean, I know some steps have been taken, like companies have updated their privacy policies, and there's more awareness about data protection, but it's more like an ongoing process, right? And there's still room for improvement.
Right.
Users need to remain vigilant and understand how their data is being used.
Right, and I think to add on to that, I think staying informed is crucial, especially for the standard person. Now, you mentioned the role of governments earlier, and so how are they addressing this issue of data privacy and finding that true balance between innovation and user protection?
Yeah, I mean, governments around the world are increasingly recognizing the importance of data privacy, right? So, like, for example, the EU, or commonly known as the European Union, for instance, implemented the General Data Protection Regulation, or the GDPR, which is a comprehensive framework that gives users more control over their data. And I know in the United States, I believe there have been similar discussions about enacting similar legislation.
Right, and I think that's definitely some sort of a step in the right direction for, again, the average person. But there's often a debate on whether strict data privacy regulations hinder innovation and truly the use of whatever technology you're using. What are your thoughts on this, Arnav?
I think it's a valid concern, right? So striking the right balance is crucial. While we do need robust data protection, we also don't want to stifle innovation, right? So companies often use data to improve their products and services, making our lives better, right? So for instance, AI-powered personal assistants like Siri or Alexa need access to some data to be effective. Like, these companies use training models in order to make their data more effective and make their products more effective. So I believe that's a crucial concern, but striking the right balance is essential.
Right. And I'm kind of glad you brought that up. Again, I use these two items, again, almost on a daily basis. I have Siri on my iPhone, and I have a Alexa pod in my room. And so I love using those virtual assistants. But on the flip side, data breaches still happen, and they can have severe consequences for users. Can you share an example of how a data breach impacted people?
Okay. I think it's 2017, Equifax, which is a major credit reporting agency, suffered a massive data breach, right? So it exposed sensitive information of over, I think, around 143 million Americans,
Oh, wow.
including social security numbers and financial data. And this breach had long-lasting effects on those affected, leading to identity theft and financial fraud and just everlasting impacts on these people's lives.
Yeah, I mean, while that's a good example, it's definitely a sobering one of how crucial data protection is. So as users, what can we do to just safeguard our data while still benefiting from the services of big tech?
Yeah, I think that's a great question, right? So first of all, we should all be cautious about the information that we share online, right? So we should read privacy policies and adjust your settings to limit data collection. So another thing we can do is use strong and unique passwords and enable two-factor authentication. I think another step we can do in order to minimize the risk is always keep our software and apps up to date and minimize vulnerability, because updating these softwares will take out any previous, data leak concerns.
Right, and I think these are very kind of the initial and the very easy and practical tips that we can all follow. And to wrap up, Arnav, what are the key takeaways here for our listeners regarding big tech and data privacy?
Okay, I think the key takeaway, right, is that while big tech offers incredible innovation and convenience, data privacy should be a priority. Governments, companies, and users all play a role in finding the right balance to protect our data while fostering technological advancements.
Right. I mean, like you said, I think it's all about striking that right balance between the two. And, well said. What else can I say? I mean, that's a wrap for today's episode, y'all. Thanks to all of our listeners for tuning in. Remember to stay informed and vigilant about your data privacy in this digital age.
Absolutely. Join us next time on the Explicably Inexplicables podcast as we explore more fascinating topics that shape the world of business.
Thanks for tuning in. Until next time.
Peace.
Peace.